Disclaimer, this very video is my opinion. So I thought about this while I was shaving, and I was listening to this song called Wah Wah by George Harrison, and I realized something. If Paul McCartney and John Lennon were to both have been there at the concert for Bangladesh, I don't think it would be about the concert anymore. I know people are like, oh, well, they didn't want the Beatles to get back together. Tell you the truth, I think there's an alternate reason why John and Paul did not both show up. Especially why Paul McCartney in particular did not want to show up. Because, okay, let's think about it. On George Harrison's solo debut album, All Things Must Pass, he writes a song called Wah Wah, which I already mentioned, that takes a jab at Paul McCartney. And yeah, there's other songs on the album that could be seen as a jab at Paul McCartney. So we have George Harrison, who wrote songs about Paul, and you have Paul McCartney, who earlier in the year 1971 wrote a song called Free Legs, where he's taking jabs not really at Ringo, but like primarily John and George, saying, well, I'm the fourth leg of the band, man. You talk shit about me, but I'm pretty damn important too. And then Paul had a song called Too Many People, which, yeah, more on the nose of a jab at John and Yoko. Especially the line, too many people preaching practices, don't let them tell you who you want to be. John and Yoko. And so imagine not only hypothetically alternate history, 1971, Paul says, sure, I'll come and play, and maybe one or two tunes. Maybe he would play a Beatles song. Maybe he would play one of his newer songs, which, as of the time of the concert, would have been Ram. And I mean, there's a whole track list he could choose from, but if Paul was pissed off at John, he could have gone like, too many people preaching practices, don't let them tell you what you wanna be. I mean, I don't know if Paul would have actually done it like that, but I mean, with how, especially at the time in the press, especially Rolling Stone was just like anti-Paul, blaming Paul for the breakup of the band. But I'm going to say it. John Lennon broke up the Beatles because he'd rather be with Yoko. Now I'm not blaming Yoko, I'm blaming John Lennon. We got it? Cool. John Lennon broke up the band because he did not want to be a Beatle anymore. And you know, Paul McCartney been like, "Oh, come on, John. We're the Beatles. You're a Beatle, John." And Paul's like, "And now, Paul, piss off. I want a divorce. I want to go make music, modern music with Yoko." Or some version of that. Sorry for the bad accent. Hey, at least I didn't do Ringo. I'm doing George Harrison. Yeah. I'm surprised there's no mob against people doing British accent. I don't know. And then, I don't know, maybe hypothetically Paul just writes a song that takes the piss out of George and John, just knowing they're going to be there listening. I don't know. I really do see like an alternate 1971 where it just stopped being about the concert for the people of Bangladesh, which was the whole point of George and Ravi Shankar even doing the concert in the first place. Now, would it have been great if the Beatles got back together? Yes. But 1971 was like way, way too soon. The next year after all the squabbles, all the internal fighting, and John's attitude like, "I don't need the Beatles, all I need is Yoko." I mean, realistically, a Beatles reunion was not going to... I mean, we could all hope and pray that in some alternate reality, John, Paul, George, and Ringo all put their squabbles aside for the people of Bangladesh. But it was just not ever going to work out. Now, it'd be kind of foolish and naive to think, oh, well, maybe if we push the concert into 1973. No. By then, that would be too late, because remember, the concert of Bangladesh was supposed to be a charity concert, a film, an album, to help the people who are dying in Bangladesh, because not only a famine, but there was just a lot of upheaval going on within that area of the world. And I don't know. I don't even know if I could sum it up accurately for the purposes of the YouTube channel, but I don't know. I know it has a lot to do with like Bangladesh and Pakistan. I think I could be wrong. Forgive me if I'm wrong, but Pakistan, Bangladesh were all a part of India at one point. And then, like, up until 1948-ish, I mean, yeah, 1948, British gave up rule over, of Pakistan and Bangladesh and India. But the people there couldn't agree. I'm trying to remember. Okay, I'm sorry for the weird face. That's just how I remember, but um I I think some of the people there are disagreed on how to run India after British rule, and people got displaced, and I don't know. It just became a mess. To put it into simple terms, it was a mess. And by the time Ravi Shankar heard about what's going on, and what I understand it was his country, he brought that to George Harrison's awareness, and George read all about it. He read about it, and he was like, you know what? We gotta do something now, man. We gotta do something now. Which was the whole point of the concert. So, any idea of holding the concert back to like even 1972 would not have done anything for Bangladesh. It'd be kind of too little too late, almost. So the concert had to happen in 71 to help the people. Or at least that's my... Forgive me if I'm wrong, but that's my understanding of the concert. Especially watching like the bit of press conference footage of George Harrison trying to explain his reasoning behind the concert. And honestly, yeah, it'd be a field day for the press if John and Paul got into a shouting match and bash a guitar over each other's head. But it would not have served the purpose of why George set the concert up. And oh yeah, I forgot to mention the songs John wrote about Paul. And by the time of the concert, John Lennon had not one but 2 albums worth of songs he had choice to use as his attack on Paul. You're like, wait, what did he have on Plastic Ono Band? On his song, I found out he was singing I found religion through Jesus and Paul, which is a subtle jab, but it, you know, John, I don't know. John Lennon could be an asshole. I admit it. I admit it. He could. But I don't think that would have been on the nose. So, in an alternate timeline, I imagine John would have just pulled out How Do You Sleep? The only thing you done was yesterday. And then maybe as the closing to his set, he just does, I don't believe in Beatles, I just believe in me, Yoko and me, that's reality. But, I mean, John was not going to show up. And you know what? The reason why John didn't even show up to the concert is good and bad of a reason. Because he wanted to be there with Yoko. I mean, I get it. Naturally, if you're in love with a woman, you want to be with her and bring her along with everything you do. But given how a lot of arguments in the band had a lot to do with Yoko, not saying that Yoko was the problem that broke the band, but Paul had arguments with Yoko. George had arguments with Yoko, which I doubt we'll ever see any footage of if it was ever filmed. I always choose the most appropriate time to film a YouTube video. I just find it funny. But anyways, yeah, honestly, I don't know if John would have ever considered just having Yoko be in the audience or backstage. But I don't know. John's feelings really got hurt by George when Yoko was not allowed to be on stage. Now, again, I understand John's position is like, John and Yoko is one word. I have to reference John and Yoko, a love story. But I get it. You know, you want to always be around the woman you love, but I don't know. At the same time, you tell George, all right, I will be there. And you're like, oh, you don't want me and my woman on stage? I mean, okay, let's face it. Most people were already going to be asked a lot, especially for 1971, to accept Eastern music with Ravi Shankar. So maybe it was a practical stretch. If this had nothing to do with Ravi Shankar at all, which honestly would defeat the purpose of the whole concert if Ravi Shankar wasn't doing a concert with George Harrison for the people of Bangladesh. I mean, that would just make no sense. But alternatively, if it was a separate concert venue and was for a different reason, and Ravi Shankar wasn't on the billing, maybe, I don't know. But I mean, in my opinion, John Lennon owed George Harrison a favor. Remember, George previously that year played on I think 4 songs on his Imagine album earlier that year. So, in my opinion, John owed George that much. But that's just my opinion, honestly. But after all is said and done and all my ranting, what do you guys think? Do you think John, Paul, and George could have shared the same stage with Ringo, realistically? Like, would that was ever going to realistically happen? I mean, even though John has committed previously but dropped out, do you think John would have actually been there if Paul was there, and vice versa? Now, Ringo was already like, you know what? Yeah, it's a project. I'll do it. So, that's a project. Just tell me when, George. There. I did a terrible attempt at all 4 Beatles in one video. Yeah, I'm never doing this again. No, in all seriousness, I want to know what you guys think. Do you guys think this is possible? Like, realistically, could John, Paul, George, and Ringo realistically put aside their hatred for each other early on after the breakup of the Beatles to reunite for the concert of Bangladesh? Let me know what you think in the comments, and keep in mind, this is some YouTuber opinion, so what I say don't matter. All that matters is what the viewer thinks. I tried to do this, but I don't know how that will show up on TV, on the phone, on the tabs. On the tabs. Do people call tablet tabs, or is it just me making myself look dumb? Yeah, turns out I was looking through my analytics and I just can't imagine. I mean, now I have to wonder, if you got this far and you're someone who has me on TV, have you ever got me to make a weird face or a weird pose? Make me even look more more goofy or questionably dumb than I already am? I just wanted to know because I don't know. I never see myself on anything but a phone. So I just don't know what I look like on TV. I mean, I know I'm overweight, but I imagine I'm like 5 times fat on TV. Almost heavier than William Howard Taft If you know, you know. But um um yeah, let me know. How do I look on TV? But am I smarter than a politician? No, I'm not. No. Anyways, I'm sorry about the super long video. I like to put a long video out every once in a while. Even though I know YouTube Shorts is where it's at, baby. And you know what? I'm kind of okay with it now. I'm just okay, call me old. I mean, I'm technically young, but call me old on this, but I grew up on the mindset that you have to make like a 10-minute or more video in order for the video to mean something. Unless you're doing a comedy skit like Nice Guys or the Pokemon Revenge, or if such and such was real, or even a YouTube poop, which I don't know. I'm still hoping. But I guess since channels like 1980s Gamer got a YouTube poop and I don't, I'm not relevant enough. No, I don't know. I really don't like to make my own YouTube poop because I don't know. Oh god. I don't like to make my own poop. Oh my god. Oh my. Would you believe if I tell you I'm 28? No. I swear, I look like a 50-year-old man back in high school. I look like I'm 50. I guess now I'm probably 60 years old. Back in my day. Okay. I'm sorry for the long video. I'll just end it by saying if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you don't like this video, give me a thumbs down. And if you remember what I was talking about 5-10 minutes ago, let me know what you guys think about this hypothetical. And thank you guys so much for watching. And if you feel like my videos deserve a hype, which I know you only get at least free opportunities to hype a video up. And if you feel that I earned one of your hypes, thank you. God bless you. God bless America. And I'll see you in the next video. Maybe I'll take a day off so everyone gets a day break from me. Alright, thank you guys for watching.